Hello everyone, this is Jonathan here, and welcome back to Unity Game Programming for Beginners, Make a Pong Clone. And we're going to get right into it, but before I do, I just want to say for all you Overwatch players out there, yes, I am a Pharah main. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually go download Unity. Now, Unity is a program that lets us develop games, and as I said in the previous video, it is completely free to download and use unless you're making over $100,000 a year with it. So go ahead and open Google or Chrome or Firefox, whatever you use, and type into the search browser, download Unity. And I'll put the links to all this in the video description as well. Now, if you go right to the Unity downloads page, it's going to take you to an installer where you can go to choose your Unity and download. And then it's going to take you to this screen here where you have different options. And you'll just want the personal one, which says free. And that will get you the most recent version, which at the time of making this video is 5.5.2. Now, in my case, I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently. I use Unity on several other computers, and I want to get the same version on this computer that I'm using on the others, so I'm going to go over here instead to the Unity download archive and get a slightly older version of Unity just because I want to keep it consistent with what I have on my other computers. So in my case, I'm going to go here to the download archive and get 5.5.0. So if you do want to follow along exactly with me, you can go ahead and get the same version. Make sure you're getting the 64-bit or 32-bit version, depending on what your computer you have, or you can get the Unity installer and it should do the hard work for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and download that here, and I'll pause the video and resume it for when it's finished downloading. Okay, welcome back, and I have just finished downloading Unity 5.5.0 F3. If you've got a more recent version, you should be perfectly fine. There might be some very small variations, but you can ask questions if you have any concerns. Either myself or someone else can try to help you out. So let's go ahead and start installing this and see what happens. So I'm using Windows 10, and I will be using a Windows PC throughout this. You can also download and install Unity on a Mac. Its interface is slightly different. I don't use Macs myself, so I won't really be able to follow along with you exactly, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Now, select the components to install. You will want to install both Unity and MonoDevelop. MonoDevelop is the side program that goes along with Unity. It's what we will be using to write and edit code with. And just figure out where you're going to install that on your computer. Now, if you do have a previous version of Unity 5 or Unity 4 and you're downloading this, a higher version, it will just overwrite the older version within that same category. So if you have an older version of Unity 5, you'll get the newer version of Unity 5. So if you click Next, and if you can see I have an older version of Unity 5 on this PC, so it's removing the older version first and installing the newer version over top of it. So again, I'm just going to pause the video here while it does its thing. Okay, now that it's installed, it's giving me an option here to run Unity 5, and I am going to do that. So click Finish. Let's start it up and see what happens. So we get the Unity splash screen. And now I already have some projects in here, so it's just asking me if I want to open any of these projects. But if you're just installing it for the first time, you won't see any of this here, so that's perfectly fine. Just click the New button up here, and it will ask you to create a new Unity project. Now, in this case here, you're gonna have the choice between either a 3D project and a 2D project. You can just press 2D because that's what we're going to be working with. And we give the project a name, and we're just going to call this Pong, or if you want, give it a more descriptive name. In terms of organizing it on your computer, what I've done here, I have a folder here called repos, which is short for repositories. Actually, first I have a folder here for Udemy. Actually, if I go here under files on my computer, I can see I have a file for repos, Unity 4.7 and Unity 5. It's actually a little confusing the way I have it set up. But in this case, I have this folder here called repos, short for repositories, and in here a folder called Unity, and in here version 5 builds. And now I'm just going to make a new folder in here, and I'm going to call it Pong, and I'm going to go in here, and this is where I'm going to store my game. And now I'm just going to go ahead and click Create Project. And Unity is going to open up, And here we have it, Unity and the interface as we see it when it first opens. So hopefully you have Unity installed by this point. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll take a look around this interface. See you then.